This is a team that puts the ball on the floor. Texas, with their three-guard look.
Longhorns are 3 out of 3. McKissick, transferred from junior college, 1 year of eligibility, has made the most of it. Carson fires. He's got it.
Well, you go behind the hook that you know he's not going to get to in time.
Kendall Yancey, another freshman from Texas, checks in. And the jump shot goes. That's a large man. 39-34 Texas. Carson, crossover. Back in, fake, step through, and gets it to go.
See when
Nancy lines it up. Back of the iron, rebounded by Carson.
see if he gets active.
Carson the bump. It's good and a foul.
See him coming from 35, 40 feet away.
Using the screen, Carson off the window. We've had 6 lead changes. The largest cushion was 14 for Texas.
Double screen action.
Carson, floater, yes.
Oh, he's so good at time.
Pac-12, he hit nearly 45% of his free balls.
We've had all kinds of X factors tonight. You know, all the people that we pushed.
That we talked about.
Aren't scoring the ball. All the guys we didn't talk about, they've come to play.
Our apologies. Barnes gets a loose ball. Carson weaving high off the glass, and there it is. 2-hand flush.
I didn't know he had that in his game. Found his bearings, nice finish.
Carson on the other end. As of yet, first 5 seasons for Dawkins, no NCAA tournament appearances. Maybe that changes. Carson, right-hand floater, yes. Easy there. Jason Randall got it through. He's got 16.
Oh, he's had quite a ball game. Finding again Lemons on the perimeter last time down the floor. This time knifing in for a layup.
Moreland bothered by Baczynski. He came over, gets on the floor, picks up the loose ball.
And that right there is why Jordan Baczynski's on that starting 5 for me and conference players. I mean, the best defensive player in the conference. The next argument is in the country.
Jahii Carson, the floater down. I'm the king of the obvious. How important the win for Stanford over Utah.
Oh, man. Well, you said it. It's obvious. They needed that. They want to get to the NCAA tournament. And had they not gotten that win, you wonder whether one less than the whole Arizona State squad.
Brandt trying to take it in against Baczynski. And here comes the blur right around and through.
A little, not a whole lot of contact, but maybe the dropping of the shoulder.
9:45 remaining. Arizona State trailing Oregon State. We'll see if, oh, it counts. And picked up his 3rd right at the beginning of the second half.
Well, you know, Paul, with 7:30 left to go, if you're Arizona State and you haven't been playing nearly as well as you're capable of playing, to be down only 9, that's a good spot.
Carson. Carson gets his own rebound. What an careful. What a pass down inside. Angus Brandt finding some room at the rim, and now the lead is 8. Jahii Carson attacking, lays it up and in. What a finish.
Goes after blocks. I mean, he loves the ball. There he is right there. He just feeds off of blocking shots. He reminds me of kind of a Mark Eaton with even better offensive skills, who played at UCLA, had a lot of success with the Utah Jazz.
Carson from 3, nothing but cheerleader. It's all about timing.
Exactly. Photo ops.
Ducks have missed their last 5 shots, and it's allowed Arizona State to get back in this. They were down 15-2. A 7-0 run right now. It's a 6-point affair. Here's Carson. He has 3. Gillian throws it away. Good hustle, and Carson will win it back.
Yeah, good hustle on the part of both players, Elgin Cook and Jahii.
We'll pull up there. So Watson with the easy lay-in, and he's the first player in double figures tonight. A full court press gave Arizona State fits the last time these two met in Tempe. Oh, Jahii Carson
10 rebounds in that winning streak.
Tonight, Moser 7 points, 4 boards.
That's the problem I have with Moser. Sometimes just doesn't show up.
Off the pressure.
for Arizona State that we talk about them maybe solidify themselves a tournament selection, but they still got to show up on the road where they've had some issues.
Carson goes high and off the glass.
Spent 9 games at the start of the season along with Dominic Artis. A little too enterprising.
Carson, smooth. He's got fit in the air. Artis, 3. Barnes with the rebound. Carson. Carson with a game-high 15, trying to add to it. Goes glass. He has 17.
The ball on the entry, disrupt his rhythm, make him have to look at 5 solid defensive players on his way down.
Carson wants it. Avoided the block that Austin was.
Easy lay-in. That makes Jonathan Lloyd so valuable. He is a pass-first penetrator.
Carson got that 3 to go in a quick time.
They learned their lesson in the Rocky Mountains, lost to Colorado, stayed in Salt Lake City like 3 days, and then just laid an egg against Utah.
Block your shot, Kravish. That's the first field goal they've got from the 5 position, Matt, and they're tied at 24. Feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, absolutely. They've kind of withstood the Cal storm early and seem like they have a little momentum here. 2 minutes to go. Big 2 minutes going into the first half. He couldn't find anyone. Sun Devils have a chance to push their lead to double digits. Carson on the blow ball. Just taking over now. He had Bo Barnes. That was a good idea by Cobbs. Barnes not as quick as Cobbs and a little bigger, but Cobbs much better scorer.
Carson working against Krecklow. Got some separation.
Teams that right now are projected to make the NCAA tournament, but we are in bracket builder week, so we're going to be talking about where they are projected and what they can still do to polish up that resume. And we'll also be keeping you updated tonight on some of the bubble matchups from around the country involving some of the bubble teams nationwide. Carson, 4-3. White for the Sun Devils, and Marshall off the mark from three-point range. A rare miss from out there. They knocked down 7 of them in the first half. They average 8 per game. They shared the ball well. They assisted on 11 of 14 field goals in that first half. And they're up by as many as 15. And here's Carson looking for a triple, and he's got it. Starting 5 all year long. As they get the lead now under 10 for the first time since about the 8-minute mark of the first half. Carson weaving his way through traffic for the pull-up and the bounce.
We haven't seen a lot of that from Jahii Carson. I'll add that to his intangibles.
Yep. He's had good body language tonight. He's been positive. He's been assisting his teammates. He's been playing a little D. Here he goes off the dribble and wraps it around.
I don't always agree with everybody, especially officials.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Don't even try.
I'm in trouble now.
It's going to be a long car ride.
Carson, the pull-up, got it. Under 8 to go. Carson, Randall had to let him by with the fouls, and John.
Even if you lose a game or two, still finish strong. Don't be the ASU that we saw last week. Be this week's ASU.
Carson floats one. And with a big opportunity at Pauley Pavilion. Game you can catch on ESPN tomorrow night. Kissick. Back out to Carson at midcourt. Here comes the double. Carson able to dribble through it. And on the shot clock. And they're scrambling to get a decent shot. Driving down the lane. Carson with one.
And you've got games that you can win. You can't afford to be this flat.
Here comes Carson.
Game.
Carson pushes. Jahii Carson all the way to the basket, his first point. Ulachov leads ASU with 8. Carson bumps, count it, and 1. Brandon.
Very good school. The amount of hours that it takes to play college athletics and still carrying a high GPA like that. Hats off to him.
Arizona State attack.
Guys on the court to start games. They're 6-1 with that lineup.
And Gilly went 8 for 8 from 3, so look to get him going early as well.
Carson. As you alluded to, they're more than willing to let him try for 3. They want to take away his drive. Carson hoists up the triple and he knocks it down. One of their first 6 shots tonight. Make it 1 for 7. And the miss by Johnson. Carson off the bounce, and the lane goes to the right side. In foul trouble.
Yeah, but I'd say both Tad Boyle and Herb Sednek have to be happy that they're now starting a new half. It's a fresh start, and basically a 0-0 game with the Buffaloes holding a 1-point lead.
Carson on the drive, He's got the pitch out to Thomas. Rattles it in and out. Carson on the run. And got it high off the window. Carson ends an 8-0.
To go to pick. A block and a turnover. Bo Barnes with good hands gets a steal, and now Carson down the floor. Throws it down. ASU.
This late in the season.
And you always talk about offense winning championships. As he misses again, can they score enough points to beat teams like Syracuse in the NCAA tournament to win a championship?
Syracuse can score. Fair can get it done. Beautiful drive, Jahii Carson.
Arizona State. This matches their largest lead of the game.
Whoa! The best individual rebound of the entire conference season right there. By the littlest guy in the entire squad.
Carson making some plays here in the second half after struggling for most of the game. He has 6 points, 4 assists.
Why do you need to set a screen up 30 feet from the basket for the fastest guy in the court?
Let's not go there again. We've had that discussion way too many times on the air. Shot clock at 8. Here comes the ball screen. Carson trying to go behind the back. Shot clock down to 3. Carson, wild shot. Oh, it went!
From the Wildcats versus the Sun Devils. Passing, ball movement.
Gillen, great defense, stepped in front of that pass intended for Aaron Gordon.
Don't slow that down, Jahii. Your game is speed, and you got Aaron Gordon on the ground.
Neither team with a field goal in the last 4 minutes. Neither team with a free throw either.
Offense wins championships. Who can score? Who can create?
Here's Carson. They got McConnell on him now. Lachinsky with the screen. Shot clock at 6. Carson, step back. Rainbow J. A 1-point Arizona State lead. 3:15 to go in overtime.
So what do you think Syracuse and Florida are thinking right now?
Carson, another wild shot that goes. He's hit. And they've lost just once here at home. You see the overtime records for the head coaches of their respective schools.
Foul trouble, endurance, style, all the things that are going into making this game a euphoric moment for one team, or is a nightmare for the rest of their lives for the team that's going to lose this game.
There's Marshall, and Hollis Jefferson has done an excellent job on him since about the 10-minute mark.
You got to get the ball. You got to get the ball to Brzezinski when he's standing right there. Please.
About 40 feet away from the basket. Carson now gets close to the rim and puts it in. 8 seconds left. McConnell with 7. McConnell flips it. Blocked by Lachinsky. Carson's got it. Arizona State going to pull the upset. The exclamation point.
Open 3. Can't counter. And the long rebound goes to Jahii Carson. Carson, no numbers, but he takes it all the way himself.
Showing off his athleticism. No one puts a body on him. Everybody gets caught ball watching, and those are able to take off.
Pull up fadeaway jumper.
Move at all for a big fellow to put it down one time on the floor, leave his feet, come through with a beautiful reverse.
Step back, pull up jumper. Carson. Nice screen to set up Carson. Carson, right hand off the glass.
He throws.
Nice Nice head fake. No finish, though. As Moreland can't get it to fall in. Jahii Carson. What a time.
Awfully close.
Carson again to left hand.
Sneak behind the screen. No one steps up. Gets a wide open look. That might be his first wide open look of the night.
And right back in it. The Beavs down. Well, now Arizona State.
2 there. Now he picks up full court against Carson. Stanford will fall into a 2-3 zone on this possession. Bo Barnes also in the mix for the Sun Devils. Got it at the elbow. Carson on the bounce. So good off glass with the autism awareness pins on both head coaches' lapels there. 100 coaches across college basketball today supporting the cause. Carson able to use the screen to free himself up for a rainbow.
His last couple of games, he's been struggling from the three-point line, shooting only 25% in his last 3 games. Good sign for him. He's able to knock down that three-point shot.
Approaching the 4-minute mark, first half here at Stanford. Jacobson wanted to go high-low with Baczynski. Tend to shoot for Carson against Randall. How quickly to the basket.
And they've had some pretty good second half outings against Houston and UConn. Both of those games in particular, where they did the job on the defensive end.
Carson pulls on the move. You can see Herb Sendek has taken the jacket off. Go time for his Sun Devils.
And he's got his shot blocking center back in the game.
That's probably more important than his attire. You're right. Carson threads a 3.
Just too easy.
17 points for Randall, recovering defensively on Carson. Carson dodged a couple of Cardinal defenders.
Randall, realizing that Jahii Carson is defending him, he's not going to commit a foul. He's able to blow right by him, get into the paint, draw the outside defense, and shovel it over to Stefan Nostich. Nice touch for the big man.
Carson has Powell defending. They go back to that point. A deep 3. Huge shot.
Defense substitution right there. Trying to match up with the shooters for Arizona State. They're out there on the court.
Carson will take the quick 2. Boy, he got Powell.
His 21st overall. They were in the NIT last year. They are fighting to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 years. Trying to put the resume together to get them there as Carson elevates and Wallace. Tyrone left it short, rebounded by Jacobson. The quick outlet here is Jahii Carson. The dribble behind the back and the pull up for 2.
State in the category with Arizona and Syracuse. I just think you've still got to beat someone.
Carson right back into the game and right down. Tops the cross, goes by. Carson for the lay-in. Carson right back at you. Carson working on Kravish. Offensive rebound. Igor Kulchov, the freshman from Russia, has come in. Carson right down the lane. Cobb's mid-range. And McKissick has it. Carson out on the run and gets the lane. Bears unable to capitalize on a couple of opportunities. Clear it out, Carson using the Baczynski screen. Wow, off the window. Along with Carson, Marshall, McKissick, and Jacobson back out there. Wallace, Kravish, Solomon, Singer, and Cobbs for the Bears.
And here's the mismatch that they look for. Kravish coming out, and a mismatch down the post.
Baczynski, the decided size advantage. Singer trying to front him. 2 on the shot clock. Carson got it.
8.5. It's at 11 right now. And I think as bad as it's gone, it could be worse. But they got to at least try and get this thing under 10 before halftime.
Well, Scott rebounded and went back at Baczynski.
I'm telling you, just the fear of him in there makes guys miss shots. He obviously challenges a lot of them, but Carson to the rim. Back the game.
Archer's been a 44% shooter from the 3. Now he comes out with it.
Now that's his game. That's what he does. He spaces the floor. You got Carson, the driver, and Marshall always available for kickouts.
Crazy shot by Carson into the paint and does finish.
They really got to get Scott going now. Baczynski not in the game. Get him a bunch of touches down on the block.
Arizona State has Barnes back in, and they get a bigger guy and a longer guy, making it a little tougher on Booker.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of different guys on Booker, really limited him. Booker only with 3 points.
Now there's the step.
Next week. I'm really looking forward to that UCLA Cal game tomorrow as well. I know we just talked about it as Carson.
Loves shooting from that baseline. Second best three-point shooter on the Utes roster. See if Carson can get on track.
Well, not an easy shot. That's all season long. He goes into Arizona, 13 big points in that second half, and look at him. He's in early in the first half here.
As the basketball, they call him a leather-up All-American in honor of the training facility here on campus, where he spends more time than not.
Well, he was in Hawaii. Look at Carson split that double team, and again, he's getting to his spot.
Barnes got a step. Try to finger roll it with the left. It was wiped away by Onwis.
Now, great play by Onwis. Barnes is
a mid-range game as anyone in this conference.
Now, you put Jacobson on him, who has the size, but that spin move got the separation.
And Carson gets it going over the top of Olsen. Barnes gets it back from the baseline. Baczynski over the top of the board.
I think Baczynski should have been patient there. He could have gone back up. He had DeLon right on him.
Still does.
He just would have looked at the situation.
Olsen got the deflection to prevent the lob. Now Carson off glass.
Well, you see Taylor trying
a starting job for the final dozen games of last season and has not looked back. Carson crossing over. Jahii Carson, as good as it gets.
Yeah, what a beauty.
DeLon Wright feeds Taylor. Extra pass leverage. No result. Carson slips through.
Now that might have been not only a Euro go into Dallin Baczynski. Baczynski was patient. He waited for Tucker to just come around that 3, and then he rose, and nothing but the bottom.
Carson takes the lead right back.
Now we're seeing some offense right here. 2 teams that they've been very good this year, and you see Leverage knock down 2 big ones there.
An 80+% free throw shooter in his own right. Taylor looked away for an instant, and Carson blew past him.
Now Taylor did a great job maintaining.
DeLon Wright. Whoa. Tough.
That was just right back at you, Jahii Carson. I'm DeLon Wright doing it again, and look at that finish at the rim, the body control, and again, his English off the glass.
How about Bo Barnes, who only averages 5 minutes per in crunch time for ASU? 4 flat. They're going to let Carson go again.
Gordon with 6. Carson turns the corner. There you go.
And gets it to go.
And interesting. Now he can make that shot too. That's how unselfish he is. It's actually a clean look.
Carson, smallest man on the floor, gets a rebound. Hard push to the basket, gets up, double clutch, got it, and a foul.
Number 2. Great body control.
5 points for TJ. Carson 3. That's what you want. Gordon! Arizona 54, Arizona State 31.
That invigorates the crowd and the defense. Tough shot.
Oh my goodness, what a trick shot. Big Zoo with 10 points.
When your big guy can run the floor and get to the rim, what a blessing. And you compliment him. Good cut.
Oh, and a layup and foul by Carson. Inside, Hollis Jefferson strip.
Give it.
Here's Carson. Power dribble to the basket and one.
They got some juice without this building, and they got some players, and they do all the little things.
Carson driving and forced this one up and
from this unit. But Arizona State has handed them some pretty decent turnovers to work with. They just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Long rebound fuels the break for Jahii Carson, who finishes. Travis Ware missing in the rebound, controlled by Jermaine Marshall. Arizona State counters. Sun Devils need to get Jahii Carson going. Here he is. Carson up and in. Anderson looks to go coast to coast, and he does. Huge swing right there.
Oh, so huge. Jahii Carson had a point-blank drop to Jordan Baczynski for 2 points. Comes back and answers. Lineup, they're even a lot more capable.
Bo Barnes, a transfer from Hawaii, is in the game and forces the turnover.
Oh, with the theft.
Carson to the basket. 10-point game.
5 points. He has 8 defensive rebounds in the first half. Byron Wesley, he's a good rebounder. He leads his USC team in rebounding. For his size, he really rebounds it. Carson trying to get those points. Movement offensively, as evidenced by the 19 points with 4:35 to go in the half. Al Carson. Wesley, nice little curl. And good decision to pull up right there, especially with Baczynski in the game. Just couldn't get it to go. And Carson. McKissick secured that. Missed foul shot. Well, Carson, he didn't need any help. So Arizona State comes right into Carson. Boy, got 1. But he's done it with points and rebounds, and there's McKissick stealing a new possession for ASU. Baczynski with 18 points tonight and 10 rebounds. Well, and it doesn't get it any easier for USC. They got the #1 team in the country coming in here on Sunday, and then they go to...
Here's a 3 on the way. That's no good from Q Johnson. Shaquille McKissick, the senior. Just over a minute in. Patience by ASU. Jordan Baczynski doubled in the post. Carson for 3. And Arizona State breaks the seal.
Carson with a nice look, starts with a good... But it is remarkable that he was able to suit up tonight and play.
See Carson along the baseline, using the window.
He's acting with a soft touch.
30-25, Arizona State leading.
You see Washington State switching it back to the zone. Arizona State having to recalculate the offense and set it up.
Jahii Carson, a deep 3. Got it.
have to recalculate much when you can shoot from 7 feet beyond the arc. Sure, it looks like they're going to stay in that 1-3-1 zone.
To the basket, Jahii Carson with a left hand.
Oh, wow. You kind of get the feeling he can do that anytime out of the ball.
Williams Goss can't knock it down. The freshman out of Oregon. And now Carson in transition where he is.
Some of the great guards that he's had up in Washington.
Williams Goss drops one over the top for 2. And now Carson fouled. Started out 7 for 9. Williams Goss around and out. Carson down the lane, floats one up and in. Blackwell rebounds his first miss and then misses again. McKissick, Baczynski, Marshall, Carson, and Gilling, same starters for the Sun Devils.
Look, getting that shot up over Baczynski is not easy. And in some cases, those were more of heaves than shots because you can't even see the basket. So a good job attacking the shot blocker, but just a tough task.
Carson, nice cut off the screen by and the turnover. Carson one-on-one with the freshman, and the blow-by Carson for the layup.
Most Njai entry passes not there.
Pulling a jump shot from the perimeter off the front of the iron. That missed by Shaq McKissick. Ball on the floor. And Jonathan Gilling goes down to get it for Arizona State. Fresh shot clock. And already you see the adjustment point shooter thought about that one out to Nelson. That's going to be wide right. And here comes McKissick once again. We know what happened last time he went on the break. Chance Murray, number 3 and white on the floor for the first time. Jahii Carson sending it down inside, but the spacing not there. Young with a running hook, no. Will Davis, and then here comes McKissick once again. Good decision to pull it out. Long, high arching free.
If you're behind a guy that's 6'8", 6'10", maybe not against the 7'2" Baczynski.
And that's his 3rd personal foul. Absolutely right,
yeah.
Matt. That's a big foul.
Now, we've talked so much about Baczynski going up a guy taller than him. You know, when does Mamadou Njai go up against anybody that's as close as him? And that's Baczynski at 7'2". Oh, Carson.
7 foot, a couple inches smaller than Baczynski. Not a great offensive player, and you see that there.
Baczynski with his 51st block so far on the season, set a single season block shot record last year. Arizona State leading it 5-4 over Texas Tech. Thanks for joining us. Pull-up jump shot not there. Long rebound gathered by McKissick. High screen and roll, trying to play some pick and pop. Jahii Carson.
Coming up at the break, it'll be the State Farm halftime report with Mike Yam and Dan Belwamity in the studio. Kansas and Kentucky both in action. Bowl highlights. Washington State in New Mexico. USC in Las Vegas against State. Very small right now. And look at this. Texas Tech playing volleyball. The loose ball comes out. And now Jahii Carson on the run out.
Well, Tech made
it come out of his hands.
Well, again, we see them trying to front the bigs. You don't need to front Kravich.
Carson getting down the lane. We talked about
this is the one thing they have not done well. They have not shot it well. Herb Sendek was worried about that, and then
what do you know? Shine with another triple, and it's the Tigers by 2.
Yeah, they're shooting 27% on the year from downtown, and
Joseph Price looking for players anywhere. And was able to pull in Shine out of the junior college ranks. Hopefully get him a scholarship next. But the Tigers are shooting the lights out here. Shine with another long-range attempt. 4 straight buckets.
7-foot mark. He said, yeah, I think I can.
You know, somebody mentioned his numbers. His Carson, couple of early fouls. And was not too much of a factor in the opening half. 6 points for Brown.
Point shots made last season and gets them in bunches as well.
Melvin Sekile couldn't handle that pass and ends up missing on the short shot. Open look, Carson. There he goes. He's a local guy close to the Arizona State campus. He's from Chandler. Carson, backdoor cut and finishes. McDonald, he's at the free throw line, normally an 84% free thrower.
So we really, when you look at him, we really haven't seen any weakness in his game.
Carson goes inside, challenges Melvin.
Did the DePaul versus Oregon State game, and the DePaul Blue Demons didn't have a lot of energy. They have much more tonight.
Carson, coast to coast, score. Garrett fires from deep. Sun Devils up 3. And Baczynski put it on the floor, had it knocked away. Stays with the Sun Devils. Carson gets inside so easily.
Avoid the charge and finish.
Another shot altered by Baczynski. Here comes Carson. Oh, this could be fun. Carson scores on top of it.
You don't think it had anything to do from going from State College to Temple?
Garrett gets inside and scores the basket. Second field goal of the second half for DePaul. Nice. Different players are in double figures. And unlike DePaul, they've had success from behind the three-point arc, making 7 of 16 threes. Marshall would have shot that earlier in the game.
For sure. And he had a lot of success from that range earlier as well.
Carson, the
UNLV record doesn't reflect how good they're going to be this year.
Carson gets inside and scores.
Donovan Kirk, and Championship Sunday is underway from the Honda Center in Anaheim, the DirecTV Wooden Legacy.
And Roxy, as we watch this Miami Hurricane team, this is the third game that we've covered him in this tournament. Coach Jim Larrañaga now, for the second time in 25 years, is starting a game in zone defense. He's a man-to-man coach, but he's still trying to find the perfect rhythm and balance.
Manu Lecomte, the freshman point guard, but a lot of size in the perimeter. Miami will deal with the small, quick guards of ASU. Really good passing group on the floor for the Sun Devils and Herb Sendek.
Herb Sendek at practice yesterday really complimented this group that they're really trying to play the right way, and they really share the...
Here's a little more experience, preseason honorable mention, all-conference player. They expect offense from him. Shaquille McKissick, junior college transfer, number 40 for Arizona State in the game. So is Richie Edwards, another transfer player. Carson got knocked for that game against Creighton, and they lacked a lot of the effort plays that we've seen on this team. Now you've got to make sure you bounce back in this game and try to secure yourself at least getting a win here in this tournament. Carson with Cheely trying to guard it. That was a nice move. Still has the ball. Stead, who had some nice moments early. The tip, no good. And McKissick tracks it down. Here's Carson. Wow, what a move with the left. Couldn't do it. Thomas went right after the 7-footer. The best way to get a shot blocker out of rhythm is to just attack him. If you're afraid of getting your shot blocked, he's going to block your shot every time. Well, that was clearly the game plan. Carson pulled body. Just put a body on somebody and grab the ball. Sun Devils are just getting killed on the glass, and this is a tie game. Carson looking for a screen from Gilling. Gets it. Carson goes right through the double team. Quite gather the ball in. Charleston has been aggressive throughout this game. The problem is that he's going to get there. He's just that much quicker than almost every guard in the country.
Yeah, these games you're describing when you say he can just go. I mean, he'll score from the outside, inside, dunks, in transition. He can be impossible to stop. He cuts to the basket. Great look from Marshall. Thomas shot fake went right by Gilling. Off the glass, gets his own miss. Blocked from behind, loose ball, and a scramble. Gilling comes away with it. Here's Carson right down the lane with the left hand. Free throws.
Travis Ford has done an excellent job at Oklahoma State, bringing the rowdy back because they want to call it at Stillwater, Oklahoma. And if that crowd comes out every single night, boy, it's going to make a big difference. With Jahii Carson, the playbook has completely expanded. Defensively, they're more man-to-man. Offensively, you're seeing a lot of those pro sets, a lot of on-ball screen situations to free him up to do things like that. Gibbs going baseline. Defense collapses in focus. It is a wide open, uncontested three on the outside, all created by Gibbs dribbling down and flattening out the defense. Jonathan Gilling, very good outside shooter for the Sun Devils. Good offensive player. Hands back to Carson. Little crossover move with the left hand. High. It's tough when Creighton is playing and functioning at such a high clip like they are right now to try to crawl back into this thing. And evidence, a couple possessions without McDermott on the floor, getting easy looks. Carson shoots another three, hits it. Here's Brooks, the spin move against Carson. This team will be elite if Brooks can play like that on a consistent basis. Carson wants to answer, and he does. Woo! And Jeff, thanks for that. It is obviously has transformed this Creighton program. Another year with maybe the best player in college hoops going into the Big East Conference. A huge transition year for the Blue Jays. A change of heart that has Creighton poised for a huge year in Jahii Carson.
From your knees, 45-foot bounce pass.
That's a great basketball play. Whoa.
Get him down low, post up. He is a terrific basketball player. Need his experience to show.
Igor Kulichov, the freshman out of Russia by way of Florida.
Trying to box Carson as much as they can.
Here is Jahii Carson, an explosive player. He's improved that jump shot down front.
Not going to get an easy look.
Gilling kicks it back out to Carson. Open for three. That's good. Wow. Anderson trying to go baseline. Good defense.
Oh, nice read.
Poked away. Here comes Carson. Lays it up and in. 10-point lead here for the Sun Devils.
Pretty good defense to Shea Walker.
Carson gets in the paint. Gilling back in.
They've done a good job on Carson, but others have stepped up.
Carson gets inside his float. Wilson, a pull-up jumper. Well long, and a rebound for McKissick. They got numbers. Carson, the trailer, attacks the hoop, got it, and the foul.
Curl play. Double on the wing. Trying to get a switch with the cross screen.
Carson top of the key, 15 on the shot clock. Carson, the shooting. Carson, back of the rim, Baczynski the rebound.
Baczynski hasn't touched it much.
Comes out to set the screen. Carson all the way to the hoop. Johnson into traffic, no call.
Not a good play offensively, though.
Carson's got Baczynski running with him. He puts up the floater.
The charge. Great body control.
Carson, the deep three, stepped into it. Dagger.
Boy, that is an aggressive move offensively off the back of the iron, missed by Amari Greer, and Baczynski takes the board. What about pace of play for Arizona State, trying to combine a player like at the rim? Lemon Jr. pull back, jump shot not there. Carson after it. Here comes McKissick quickly out of the backcourt. Kulichov on the left. Good pass outside. Long three-pointer. Buried by.
That gets ASU going, and ASU loves to run the last couple years with Jahii. Herb Sendek changing the offense entirely from a slowdown team.
Another three-pointer on the way and buries that. Score up front, had a big game in the loss at Illinois. Gets Bradley off early, and Bradley's got to make free throws. 2 of 9 in the first half.
Yeah, that won't get it done, but an offensive board, and that's what got them going early in the first half.
Good little pivot and footwork on the Pac-12 networks. Ball inbounded into the backcourt. Terrible inbounds pass. And Jahii Carson at the other end lays it up and in. Back on the floor.
On a rare turnover by Jahii. He just doesn't turn it over very often. And his assist to turnover ratios have been great coming into this game.
Carson right to the rim, lays it up and in. And Arizona State had to sit out the first year. He's gotten stronger. He's practiced with the team each and every day during the course of that period. And he's worked on his game. He's realized you got to work at the things you're not good at and get better at the things that are your strengths. He's gotten to be a much better shooter and a very good finisher as well. 2:50 remaining in this one, and still a relatively comfortable 15-point lead. 4 players, make it 3 players in double figures for Arizona State. Gilling among them. Kick outside to Carson, gets his feet set.
You look at Arizona State, they very talented, but finished 8th in the Pac-12. They struggle with quick, athletic power forwards.
Deshaun Jones launches a 3. Another rebound for Bashinsky. It's 7-2. He's the tallest player in Arizona State history. Carson, count it. And the foul. Arizona State. Here's Chance Murray, who dishes in the corner to Gilling. Carson, that's wide open.
Kendall Smith has done a really good job on Jahii Carson. Now they're playing team defense. Here's another steal.
Going to the ground for it is Kulichov and Carson. And Kendall Smith finishes.
How about your 6'10" center coming down and running a perfect 2-on-1 fast break?
Carson.
Better job in transition defense that time.
Carson with the steal. Carson throws it down.
Now, 2 years ago, he's at Mississippi State. You could put 2 hands on a guy trying to ride him out over a ball screen. Now, you got to do it with your feet.
Carson explodes. Wow.
The offensive rebound, you're going to get fouled a lot also.
Roscoe Smith now with his 3rd double-double of the season. 10 points, 16 boards. Make it 12 points for Roscoe as Carson's shot.
Oh, I don't know.
They're going to count it. Nice pass to Kendall Smith. Reverse lay-in, no. Gilling up ahead to Carson. It's a foot race. Carson wins, count that.
Timeout, he couldn't deal with that one.
This place erupted. There's a later season feel inside here. This is not a Tuesday, November game, and there's a lot going on. To shoot for Arizona State. Carson takes the screen. He'll launch. Down the stretch, Rebels 50% from the line shooting free throws this year.
Pretty good job by Roscoe Smith staying on Jahii Carson that time. Yeah. This guy can move his feet.
Well, he's got great long arms. He's played a perimeter at UConn, so he knows how to move his feet. You see UNLV switching handoffs, switching ball screens, because they trust their bigger players' ability to move laterally.
Carson for 3. Bashinsky has 13 points, which matches his uniform number, which he wears in honor of fellow Canadian Steve Nash. Carson in transition.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Smith left open.
Not a good shot.
Carson's got nobody to run with. He's going to go anyway. And he lays it in. Deshaun Jones.
Where is he going?
By Baczynski. Look out. Here comes Carson. And he tries to foul. And count it.
I think think you got to come double Carson. Get the ball out of his hand. Don't run at him. He's going to dribble out the clock.
Carson sees the space and knocks it.
Well for a big man. The fact that he does it every time. Just really hustles down.
Jahee's going to drive the lane off the glass. He gets it to go.
He's got that nice fadeaway, and a lot of times when you fade, you actually get great touch there. It's see Kobe Bryant and guys in the NBA doing that. Hansen, just a nice job of using the body in the step back.
Had 27 a season ago against Montana State. Jahii Carson. Float. Hansen driving, blocked that time. Getting a piece of it was Chance Murray. The other way. A little dribble drive. Richie Edwards kicks it back out. Jahii Carson with it. Chance Murray. Jermaine Marshall down to 12 of the shot clock. Turned over. Taken away, and Jahii Carson will reset.
But the shot clock's
pull-up jumper there. Can't get it to go. Defended by Jahii Carson, and Carson will bring the ball back. Kulichov and now Chance Murray. Down low, Baczynski. Out high, three, Carson.
Mark and Ted over there.
Kevin Hall made the free throw off the glass and in.
Arizona State. And then, as we mentioned, 9-9 in conference. Jahii Carson with the opening tip. And immediately Miami in the 2-3 zone. Blake McClymon's in the middle of that. 6'10 senior from Hamburg, New York. Transfer from Michigan, where he played sparingly off the bench. Here's Carson straightaway look at three and a long one. And he knocks it, but this is off. Here comes Eustace for the pull-up. In the backflow, it's tapped away in there by Kulichov. Leading to a break. Carson, backhand reverse flip. Classmate of there at Miami. Embry was then general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers for a spell.
Embry, maybe one of the greatest Miami players ever.
Oh, Harper with that question. Derek Harper. He was the guy.
He was the guy, huh?
Well, you remember Harper. I mean,
Zerbiak?
And Wally Zerbiak. Then
but Harper was the guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But he had the knee injury before his pro career really blossomed, and Harper was never the same again.
Right.
He's Gilling outside over to Carson, and he'll elevate for three. Well, Jerry made there by Richie Edwards. Edwards and Carson, Baczynski with Murray now in the corner. Marshall in the other corner. But Jahii with some magic in the air. He averaged just under 72 a game last year. Baczynski comes up and erases that and says, get that out of here. Well, he's been busy tonight. So is Carson. Explodes to the cup. And Skies for the rebound. Dealing with his fifth recovery of the night. Carson wanted Marshall to run the in line and go back door, he said. Gilling drives and kicks, and Carson just is off. Ball picked up off the floor by Carson, who did not miss a...
I don't know if you noticed that last time after that bucket. Arizona State full court pressured, then trapped again in the half court. And with the shot blocker like Baczynski on the back line, they should press more. They should encourage teams to drive in there to the best shot blocker in the country.
Last foul by UMBC, team number 4. 0 fouls at this point of the Sun Devils. They try to double Baczynski. 12 left to shoot. Carson directing some traffic. Quick first steps to the Big Ten at scoring last year at Penn State, over 15 per contest. Comes up with a theft. Carson deep through. Only about a 2-second difference between game and shot clock. We'll see if the Sun Devils stretch it out here.
Gilling trying to hand it off for Carson. 6 to shoot. Nope. Again, Thomas thrust onto the job 2 days before the start of practice last year. 3 blocks, of course. He had the triple-double a year ago. First in Arizona State history.
That deep. His starting 5, I really like them. They play really well together. Look
Block
at the
from
speed.
Jacobson.
Not going to catch him.
Carson.